Hi everybody, and welcome back to the landscape. So, we are in woodland. The day is bright with hazy sunshine. A perfect day for a bit of infrared. Now, I've been wambling around these woods for a little while today. The main path is actually behind you. And I've gone, I wouldn't say I've gone from one end to the other and back, but I've gone as far as I can that way because the watercourse stops me, and I've gone as far as I can that way because the road stops me. I think there are probably other footpaths that go in different directions, but I've walked past this clearing 3, maybe even 4 times. And every time I've walked past it, I've kind of gazed into it and thought, there's got to be an infrared image in there somewhere. So my challenge today is to find the infrared image. Now, I have my infrared camera, my GX7. It's going to be quite difficult for me to show you the back of the camera because the light is so bright. So I'm just going to do my best to describe to you what works and what doesn't work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the clearing in a anti-clockwise fashion, and I will pick out things, and then we'll have a talk about it. I'll take the picture, show you the picture, and yeah, let's see if we can find an infrared image in this wonderful space. An infrared image that works, by the way. So for me, the definition of an infrared image that works is one that says something about line and structure. Because for me, that's what infrared is all about. So here, we've got quite an interesting shape in the trees in front of us. And hopefully you can just about see in the distance there's a fallen tree which at some point would have been sort of that kind of shape. It would have gone up in a V. Now the V is lying horizontal to the ground. So lots of interlocking shapes and lots of interest. When viewed through the infrared camera, and I will take the picture, I think 4x3 probably suits it better. Need to come out relatively wide. I'm going to take it and I'll show it at the end of the explanation. That for me is a no. 2 reasons. One, there's quite a lot of moss on the tree in the distance. So the tree in the distance is actually very grey because it's reflecting infrared light. There's also a lot of earth which isn't reflecting infrared light. So it's just this great big lump in the frame. And I think that takes something away from the idea of being able to concentrate on the shape of the tree in the distance. Now, maybe if I worked it a little bit harder, I could find something, but I think I'd have to work really, really hard. And there's a danger that I might be chasing an image that just isn't there. So I think for the purposes of this challenge, I'm going to move on and find something else. So we actually haven't got very far. The first tree is just here, but the attraction here is these 3 sentinels with the one in the middle showing lots of shape up above it. Now, I think I'm going to have the same problem that I had previously with lots of earth. Yeah, I think I have. What's going on down here is very dark and lumpy, and actually you can't see the bottoms of these 2 bookends. You can see the bottom of that one, but you can't see the bottoms of these 2. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to recompose and just get rid of as much of the ground as I can. Yeah, that's a bit more successful. So what I've done there is recompose to just show the roots of this middle tree and a little bit of ground, and then just basically follow the shape right up to the top. That worked a lot better in terms of showing shape and line and structure. But I'm going to keep looking and see if I can find something a little bit stronger. So let's keep moving in that direction. I've seen a lot of shapes and stuff going on down there. Now, when I first looked at this scene, my initial reaction was one of, oh my goodness, look at all of these shapes and lines and interlocking lines, lots of lovely, wonderful chaos. But I've already had a look at it through the infrared. There's a body of water down here that shows up as black. That's fine. That actually takes me through the frame. But again, I wonder whether, certainly these two tree trunks over here I can see quite clearly. I think there's a lot of stuff in there that's covered in moss, which is reflecting infrared light, therefore it appears pale. And I'm not getting those lovely dark lines intersecting, and actually I can't find a pattern of dark lines to move me through the frame either. So visually that might actually work in black and white. Shoot it in color and convert it to black and white. I think that notion of chaos and so forth would really show up using that form of photography. But using infrared, unfortunately, even though it looks to have loads and loads and loads of potential, I'm not so sure it necessarily hangs together. But we'll take the image anyway, and we'll keep going that way. Look at this belter of a tree. Wow, amazing shape. Love the lean on it as well. Kind of accentuates all those verticals going out at an angle. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, the structure really shouts. That's really quite nice actually. I'm getting a bit more excited about that one. What I am going to do though, I'm going to try one by one, see whether that contains our tree. Yes, I think it does. So really important that we get the camera level. Yeah, that's the strongest yet. That's really, really nice. The reason why I went one by one is there's a sapling, well, there's two saplings actually here, and there's another 2 or 3 over there. The wider view brings those trees into play, and they don't necessarily have a voice to play in, or not a voice to play, what's the phrase I'm looking for? They don't contribute to what's going on right here. I also mentioned, and one by one constrains it and allows us to focus on this tree. I also mentioned about getting the camera level. That's to allow the angle of this tree, the slope of this tree, to have a voice in the frame. If we didn't do that, if we didn't pay attention to that bit, that quality would be lost. And that was a quality I mentioned right at the very beginning. So it's really, really important that we include that. That's absolutely lovely. Yep, we might even have found the one right there, but let's keep going and see what we can see. Right, so I think this is the strongest set of shapes that we've found yet. Loads and loads and loads of interlocking trees. I love the fact that this one leans in from the left. We're all taught to read English from left to right. So anything that reads in that direction, it's natural, it's comfortable. I'm liking that quality. The only quality that jars me a little bit is this tree here on the right also leans out to the left. So there's a bit of a danger, I think, that the eye could go on to the left beyond the edges of the frame. But I'm loving all of these interlocking shapes, and they're all gnarly. There's very little in terms of straight lines in there. Maybe this bookend here, but that's it. Everything else is all twisted, and it's got loads and loads of character, and they all crisscross each other. Quite like that quality. Right, so let's have a look through this IR camera and see what we can see. Yeah, I am going to have to be careful with that tree on the right. This one on the left is actually starting to bother me. I think because it's so big and dominant, I think it shouts louder than this lot. So if I exclude it... Oh, hang on. I forgot to change the frame size. Let's go back to 4x3. Yeah, I still wonder whether we exclude this fella and we start off there. Yeah, that's much, much better. We'll level him up. Yeah, I like that. That might actually be the one as well. I did exclude this one in the end. As a character, it was slightly too strong, and it was vying for my attention. What I really want the viewer's attention to be on is what's going on here. I mentioned that I was worried about that tree on the right, and it's actually pointing out to the right, but with the exclusion of that one, I've got a tree on the left that's pointing out towards the edge of the frame, and I've now got a tree on the right that's pointing out into the edge of the frame. So I've got balance that hopefully brings the viewer back down. Choosing a 4x3 frame, that means that this patch of ground that's down here is kept to the absolute minimum. It's there, I can't avoid it, but I've kept it to the absolute minimum. And in software, I might just try and bring it up a little bit, just to reduce its impact. But I'm really torn because I love the complexity of this one, but I love the simplicity of our leaning tree. So I tell you what, I would like you to tell me which image was the strongest and why you think it was the strongest. And we can have a little bit of a debate about it down in the comments. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Very impromptu, not planned at all, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you've liked today's content, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. If you like this kind of content, please consider becoming a subscriber if you're not already. It's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. Right, I need to go and charge up the batteries on the Osmo because it's about to pack up. But until we are back out in the landscape, everybody stay well, stay safe, and take care of each other. Bye-bye for now.